Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about some of the things that keep me up at night and why these things keep me up at night. It's because of things like this. Now, this here is a picture or a few pictures that I'm going to share with you, that I'm allowed to share with you, of Michael. And for those of you that don't know who Michael is, he's my grandson. And he's about a year and a half, almost a year and a half old now. And I agreed, or I was allowed to put up some pictures of him that are backdated, all right? Because I really don't want the public as a whole to know what my grandson looks like, just in case there are any crazies out there. And I'm sure that you know what I mean by that, all right? It's very important to me that my son, my daughter-in-law, and Michael keep their anonymity the best that they can. Not saying that anyone I've ever run into from the AP community hasn't been anything but awesome. Everyone that I've ever run into from the AP community here in Alaska, and even when I went down to Reno, I ran into someone that was part of the AP community, have been nothing but awesome. But you know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. So this here picture is a picture of Michael during his first Christmas, so almost a year ago, and that's him with me laying on a big pillow. And then these two pictures here is obviously another one from that same Christmas, but then this other picture where he's holding and gripping onto a big old piece of ribeye steak. He loves that ribeye, ladies and gentlemen. He's just like his grandfather. He's gripping onto that big old piece of ribeye steak. Was several months old. So, you know, I told my son and my daughter-in-law that if I'm allowed to put up a picture of Michael every once in a while, because I know that you all ask about him, you know, and I thank you for that, that it will be a picture that's already outdated. That means that he doesn't really look like he does in this picture anymore, because he's got a full mouth of teeth now. He's got, you know, his hair is different and all that stuff. Yeah, I just wanted to share this with you because even though I don't read the comments that often, because a lot of things in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, allow the ugly in people to come out, and that can really have its toll on you if you read all the comments all of the time, especially the types of videos that we put out, you know, or that I put out. I'm not going to say anything about anyone else, which some people say is fear-mongering, some say is gloom and doom. Yesterday's video, I guess a lot of people agreed that, hey, this is just reality, what's going on. But another thing that I noticed is that a lot of people are asking, how's Michael doing? So I thought that I would share with you that Michael is doing great. He is so beautiful, ladies and gentlemen, and he's just growing up healthy, thank goodness. 10 fingers, you know, 10 toes. He's healthy all the way around, and he just loves to eat. So I know that he got something from my side of the genetics pool, at least. I noticed that people are also asking about Boppy, which is my rooster, for those of you that don't know, and the ladies, the 11 hens that he takes care of out there. They're all doing really well. And what I'll do is this weekend, hopefully, I'll just shoot a short video to show you the heat lamp that I have in there now, how they're doing, the water setup that I have in there, and how they eat. And also, I did receive a new heat lamp in the mail from Amazon, because a lot of you all recommended that I go with a radiant heat lamp instead of using the light bulb ones. I haven't put that one in there yet or hooked it up yet, because the light bulb one that I'm using, ladies and gentlemen, it works so great, and it's 200 watts, and it keeps the coop, it keeps the coop during the day at a very nice temperature, and it seems like they're really enjoying it. So we'll see. I'll go ahead and shoot a quick video of that here later on during the weekend, hopefully, so that we can all share in that. But the reason that I titled this video, these are the things that keep me awake at night, is because, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot allow ourselves, like I have, right? I'm pretty lucky that I have a wife who keeps me somewhat grounded, right, ladies and gentlemen, and allows me to see the better things in life than what I see through the lens of YouTube and the mainstream media, or not mainstream media, but alternative media outlets that I visit to let me know what's going on in the world. And obviously you all know that during the last several weeks that things have been ramping up, and especially during the last week with this thing that's happened in Israel, things are really ramping up, that we take time to just enjoy what we have in life, because these are the things that are important. Family, ladies and gentlemen, is very important. Friendships, very important. Community, of course, very important. Let me tell you what, I took my wife for granted for so many years, right? Because we were working towards trying to be, in a better place, towards trying to be able to retire one day with dignity instead of just retiring because you're too old to work anymore. And it happens. It happens, especially in a marriage where you've been married for 30 plus years. It happens. You forget about each other and you worry about the things that you think are important when really they're not the things that are important in life. But that's what you think because society tells you this is what you should think. And sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes it takes years before you finally realize, hey, these are really the things that are important. And the things that are important in life are those things, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, that make you smile. Are those things that make you feel good inside, right? And to me, the most important things, obviously, like I'm sure it is to many of you, is of course family and making sure that your family is well taken care of. And that in itself can take its toll on you because you feel, especially if you're the provider in the household, if you're the one that's out there that has to go out there and make sure that your family is going to have what they need, it makes you feel obligated to have to produce, to have to give, to have to improve. And that can take its toll on you. And instead of sitting here every single day and talking to you about, well, I'm worried about, or we should all be worried about, we're going into a grand solar minimum. I'm not saying it's not true. It is. It's 100% true. We're in a grand solar minimum right now. And as far as food production goes, things are going to dwindle for the next several years to come. As far as earthquakes go, earthquakes are going to pick up. They always do during grand solar minimums. As far as volcanic eruptions go, they're going to pick up. They always do. As far as hectic weather patterns happening in places that normally it doesn't happen, et cetera, all of those things are going to pick up. So we talk about these things because we want to be prepared for these things. We talk about how in America, crime is going to start taking over more and more. Why? Because our economy is going down. We have a government that is 100%, well, maybe not 100%, but I would say probably in the high 80s to low 90% corrupt. Right? So crime is going to continue to take up. So you have to defend yourselves. You have to find a way to protect your family and your goods for the times that we are going into. I talk about these things because they are important to me. Why? Because my family is important to me, and I'm sure that your family is important to you. It's not necessarily to scare you, but we do have to find an outlet that will allow us to put these things to the side and forget about them for a while, right? I talked to you all about this Green New Deal thing that they've been doing for I don't know how many years now, and it's changed names, right? It started with global warming, then it turned to climate change, and then I think they even tried to change it to erratic weather patterns, and now we've gone into this Green New Deal where it's just a way to draw more wealth away from you. This thing that I talked to you about, ladies and gentlemen, is because I see it as being threatening to our way of life. I see it as being threatening to our individual sovereignty, to our financial sovereignty, to what we will be able to procure in the future because someone says so or someone says yes. So they can say, yes, you can get it, or no, you can't get it. That's what this Green New Deal is about, ladies and gentlemen. It's about full control. So I feel obligated in talking about these things because these are things that are going to affect our children and our grandchildren. A lot of times when policies are passed, it takes years and years before we actually see what those policies did. Look at NAFTA. NAFTA back in, I think it was 1995, 1996 that NAFTA was passed. And look at where we are now, 25 years later, maybe 28 years later. Look at where we are now. We have no manufacturing. We are just now starting to pilgrimage back into bringing manufacturing to the United States. We're just now starting, but it took a quarter of a century or more for us to finally realize that that policy was a mistake. It was an error, be it that it was done on purpose or not. It was an error. So it takes a long time for policy to manifest itself into what is reality, ladies and gentlemen. So everything that we see now, all of the things that we talk about now with this Green New Deal stuff, with climate change stuff, all of the policies that they're writing and putting into law or regulations, we may not see that evolve into what it really means for another 10 or 15 or 20 years. And then by then it'll be too late. Look at where we are now with NAFTA. all of our manufacturing, most of our manufacturing, I can't say all, was stripped from the United States of America. We lost, I think it was what, 6-7 million manufacturing jobs, good jobs, like really good jobs, just to be replaced with service related jobs. Bartenders, not saying that that's not an important job, it is. Bartending, waitressing, hospitality services, stuff like that. Jobs that really don't create anything. A service job is something that provides you a service, but a manufacturing is a job that actually creates something out of nothing. Not taking away from service jobs, okay? Because I know people get triggered out there. So I feel that it's very important to talk about these things, because this is what we're going to be living in the next 10, 20 years. The $7 trillion that has been stripped from the people of the world over the last 10 or so years to fight this global warming stuff has literally been stripped from us. Not because we wanted it to, but because of these laws and regulations that they have been passing for the last 10 years, ladies and gentlemen. And now they're saying that they need another 14 trillion so that we can now explore for new oil. Why in the world would we need 14 trillion after we've given 7 trillion for green energy, 14 trillion to explore for new oil or fossil fuels? Because they know we're going to need it. That to me is just the powers that be saying this Green New Deal stuff is a failure, and now we have to rebuild what we've destroyed on the fossil fuel side. I pray that we have some technology out there, or that some technology comes about where we can have clean fuel that does not pollute, i.e. that doesn't put nasty stuff in the air that we can breathe in. Nothing to do with CO2. CO2 is not a pollutant, all right? And you can look that up. But I hope that there is some kind of technology that will take the third world out of where they are, where many people don't even have electricity. We can say, yes, global warming, yes, let's give up fossil fuels, not knowing what it's going to do to those people that are just living on the edge, that are wondering where their next one meal is going to come the next day. Where's it going to come from? That are wondering if UNICEF or the World Food Bank will have to take away more calories from them in order to give to people that are on the verge of starvation. Yes, these are the things that we talk about. And I do try to bring some happiness into the channel by talking about things that happen in my personal life, like Michael, like Christmas, like when something really good happens, like when I got my chickens and stuff like that. But the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, is that when we stop looking at the world as a whole, then what's going to happen is we're going to let the world go by, and then we're going to have to pay the consequences for not acting when we should have. Should we as a country have acted in 1995? I think it was 95, 96, all right? Don't quote me on the exact date. But should we as a country had acted back in 1995, 96, when they were going to pass that NAFTA thing that destroyed our manufacturing, then we wouldn't find ourselves in this position now, where we have to depend on so many outside nations to provide us with the things that we consume on a regular basis. Should we have acted back then, we wouldn't find ourselves where we find ourselves today. Should we have acted, right, when they were talking about just opening the borders, and had really acted, ladies and gentlemen, as one voice, one people, then maybe in the last 2 years we wouldn't have had over 7 million people come through the borders that haven't really been checked, and about another 1.5 million people that are suspected of being bad players. Should we have acted a year ago, 2 years ago, or 3, maybe we wouldn't be facing what we're facing today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is why I talk about the stuff that I talk about, and it does take its toll on me. And I thank you all so much for the good comments, for those of you that are really good people that do understand and try to bring up the good in life, when in this brain right here I see a lot of the bad, and that's what I report on. But I have to learn to also report on the good. Unfortunately, people love to be entertained with the things that are going on that's really not that great around the world. It's what captures people's attention. And I haven't really talked too much about what's going on in Israel, because, ladies and gentlemen, in all honesty, it really bothers me to the core. And I would say that it even worries me a little bit. All right. So I haven't talked too much about that because I figure that you're getting so much of it from everywhere else anyways, that maybe I'll stay away from that just a little bit. I was going to go ahead and share with you some news articles on this video, of just news articles that's going on without even opening them up. That way you can see what a crazy world we live in. However, I think maybe I'll save that for this afternoon when we have our live stream. We'll just look through some headlines to see what a crazy world we live in. And then we can see for ourselves why it is that we are all so consumed with news that's going on that's not that positive, because there's just not that much positive stuff out there happening, let alone being talked about. So like I said, I'm not going to make this video too much longer. I just wanted to really thank those of you that always show up for a video, and I really want to thank those of you that are so very generous and kind on the comments, that I can tell that you really care. So I want to really thank you all. I want to thank you for being part of this community and sticking around here for as long as you have been. There's always going to be people out there, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that I learned a long time ago. And please do not condemn these people in the comments, all right? Just let them say what they have to say. If they get really nasty, I have no problem with blocking them. But if they're just saying their piece, then they're just saying their piece, that's all. But please don't condemn these people in the comments, the people that just don't like my message. But what I have to say about that is if you don't like my message, just please be happy and find a channel where the message that they're giving you resonates with you. But be happy. I don't want to sow discontent. I don't want to talk about things that are going to make you unhappy or make you angry, right? I don't want to do that. You know, I want to bring you information that I find interesting, that I think we ought to know about in order to be better prepared. And that is why for the last week or so, I've been telling you all, arm yourselves. Learn how to use whatever it is that you buy for personal protection. Learn how to use it. And I was so happy to see in the comments, I'm pretty sure it was yesterday's videos, where a lot of people were saying, hey, we just came back from the range. Hey, all of my family knows how to use the firearms that we have, and even my 2 teenage boys know how to use these firearms. We are ready. Arm yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. If for the very least, to make sure that you have it available, and hopefully nothing ever happens. But anyways, I wanted to thank you all, and I wanted to say, don't berate those that have some negative view about me or the channel or the message. Just let them speak their piece, and that's that. But if you are one of those people, please find something that really suits you best, all right? We are going to be going through some very difficult times in the years ahead. And it's not because I want it to happen. It's because it's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. It's not because I want it to happen. So get ready for those things, right? Get ready for these things. And you know what? I was thinking about this. Someone left me a message again about switch with AP. And let me go ahead and just give you, this is the last thing I'll talk about. I'll try to make it like a minute long or so, all right? Not that long. But I just don't understand, ladies and gentlemen. All of these years that I've been on YouTube, I've been berated for so many things about the things that I review. Hey, when I got an affiliate link with Amazon, right, which I still do. And if you want to support the channel, ladies and gentlemen, use my links in the description of the video, only if you're going to use it anyways. So if you're going to go shopping on Amazon anyways, use my links. It does help me out, and I appreciate it. But when I first got that link, people were like, oh, why are you supporting Amazon? You know, because Amazon's the devil. Well, I know we have a love-hate relationship with Amazon. I understand that. But here in Alaska, a lot of people get what they need from Amazon because we can't get it in other places. All right, great. I get berated for Amazon because Jeff Bezos is the devil and he owns the New York Post and the New York Post is left-leaning, etc., etc. Okay, great. Oh, why do you shop at Walmart? Because I used to shop at Walmart years and years and years ago, and I even used to get my oil changed there. I don't even do that anymore. Every once in a while, I have to go there to get some of the chicken feed that we get because they have it there. So every once in a while, that's what we go there for now, for that. Unless there's something that we really need, that we need right now, and we know they have, never go to Walmart. I don't remember the last time I went to Walmart, period. But why are you going to Walmart, AP? These people only sell Chinese products. You know, they don't love America. It said, okay, Walmart, beautiful, done. You know, why are you reviewing that flashlight? That flashlight is made in China. Why are you peddling Chinese flashlights? Okay, beautiful, done. All right, no flashlights. Why do you only review solar generators that are made in China? Well, 99% of solar generators that are made in China, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I get berated about that. So I get berated about all of these things that I review that are not made in the United States. When we just talked about what happened in 1995, that we were forsaken by our government by taking our manufacturing from here in the U.S. and shipping it overseas. Right? So I get berated for all these stuff. So finally, I find a place where like 99% of the stuff that they make is made in the U.S. And I market it as such that it's not so that you can have a business. It's not so that you can get this person under you or that person. I market it as such as what exactly I did, what I've been doing for the last nine, almost 10 months, which is just buying the stuff and trying it out and replacing those things in my house that I can replace with the things that they sell, because it's all made here in the US. It's not a company that's beholden to ESG. That's how I'm looking at this thing. But people are like, this is multi-level marketing and stuff. If you want to use it and make it into a business, go ahead. That's up to you. But I say just use it to buy the stuff that you need, that you can switch away from these corporations that are governed by ESG, governed by the United Nations, who don't care about America, who don't care about you. That's why I want to use this. That's why I use this. I'm not telling you that you're going to get rich. As a matter of fact, do not click on the link if you want to use it as a business. Click on the link only if you want to switch away from things that you know you can get from this company that's made in the USA, and that's it. And yes, there's a monthly, I'm not sure if it's called a subscription or whatever it is, but you have to spend a monthly stipend, like 35 points, which equals like 60, 70 bucks. Some people can't afford that, and some people won't afford that. Some people don't want to do that, and some people don't want to do that. But even during the 9-month trial that I've been doing this, I even called my rep up a couple times and I says, what do I need to do if I want to quit? I want to quit right now. What do I need to do? And he says, oh, too easy. Here, just sign this and that's it. So I even figured out if you want to stop, you can stop like this. Boom. Right? So ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to hear about it anymore. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore unless I'm directly asked about it. If you want to try it, you try it. If you don't, you don't. But stop berating me when I review a solar generator that's made in China because it's made in China. Because I found something where you can get a lot of the things that you use on a monthly basis that's made here in the USA. So it's up to you whether you want to use it or not. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, you know me. I told you it'd be about a minute long, and it's probably taken about 15 minutes of me ranting on. Have a great day. I hope to see you later on this afternoon during our live stream, all right? And we're going to have a great time like we usually do. I'm going to go ahead and let you all know, those of you that still have not contacted me about your prizes that you won last Friday, it's going to be the last chance that I give, and then I'm just going to take those prizes and roll them over to Christmas, to the Christmas giveaway, which is actually coming up. Have a great rest of your day. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.